As the sun descends slowly beneath the western horizon, casting a golden glow across the sprawling sands of Egypt, you find yourself drifting into the ancient world of the pharaohs, where gods and mortals once walked side by side. In this timeless realm, the air is filled with whispers of the Nile's gentle currents, and the distant rustle of reeds sways softly in the evening breeze. Here, amidst the shadowed columns of grand temples and the quiet hum of daily life, the powerful deities of Egypt held sway over the land, their presence woven seamlessly into the fabric of existence. In those times, life was a delicate dance between the seen and the unseen, with each god embodying elemental forces and cosmic truths. You might imagine the priests going about their sacred duties, their footsteps echoing gently on cool stone floors, as they carried offerings to the inner sanctums where flickering torches cast mystical shadows. The incense would rise in delicate spirals, mingling with the faint scent of lotus blossoms, as invocations were murmured in reverent tones. These gods, though mighty and awe-inspiring, were not distant or aloof. They were as much a part of the people's lives as the river that nourished their fields or the sun that warmed their days. Among these celestial beings, Ra, the sun god, perhaps comes to mind first. His daily journey across the sky, a symbol of renewal and unyielding power. Yet beyond his well-celebrated domain, there lies a tapestry of lesser-known tales and truths about the gods who played crucial roles in the vast narrative of Egyptian mythology. Take, for instance, the enigmatic figure of Ptah, the creator god who shaped the world with thought and word. In the silent workshops of Memphis, artisans and craftsmen revered him, for Ptah was the divine architect, the patron of those who transformed raw materials into objects of beauty and utility. It was believed that his creative essence flowed through their hands, imbuing their work with a touch of the divine. Then there is Hathor, goddess of love, beauty, and music, whose presence was as gentle as the evening breeze, yet as formidable as the desert sun. She was often depicted as a cow, a symbol of nourishment and motherhood, welcoming the weary with open arms. Her festivals were joyous occasions, filled with the sounds of music and laughter, where the people would come together to celebrate the blessings of life and love. In the silent, moonlit nights, you might imagine her celestial dance, a harbinger of peace and prosperity. Another intriguing figure is Thoth, the ibis-headed god of wisdom and writing, who guided the hand of the scribe and measured the passage of time. With a quill in hand and a serene countenance, he was the keeper of divine knowledge, the one who recorded the deeds of gods and men alike. It is said that he invented the hieroglyphs, those elegant symbols that adorned the walls of tombs and temples, preserving the stories of a civilization for generations to come. In his presence, the lines between the earthly and the divine seemed to blur, as wisdom flowed like the Nile, steady and enduring. And who could forget Maat, the goddess of truth and justice, with her feathered headdress and unwavering gaze? She embodied the principles of balance and harmony, ensuring that the cosmic order was maintained. In the halls of judgment, her feather was weighed against the hearts of the departed, a delicate symbol of righteousness and integrity. In the quietude of the afterlife, her presence was a gentle reminder of the equilibrium that governed the universe. As the night deepens, you might hear the distant echoes of Anubis, the jackal-headed god who guided souls to the afterlife. With a staff in hand, he watched over the embalming process, a guardian of the dead who ensured safe passage through the dark corridors of the underworld. His was a solemn duty, yet one filled with compassion, as he cared for those who journeyed beyond the veil of mortality. In this ancient pantheon, the stories of these gods interwove with the lives of the people who worshipped them, creating a rich tapestry of myth and ritual that defined an era. The gods were not merely distant figures, but intimate companions on the journey through life and beyond. They offered comfort and guidance, strength and wisdom, in a world where the mysteries of existence unfolded like the petals of a lotus under the sun. As you wander through this landscape of myths and legends, the ancient stones seem to whisper their secrets, and the stars above twinkle with the knowledge of ages past. The gods of Egypt, with their myriad forms and attributes, continue to captivate the imagination, their stories etched into the sands of time. In the quiet stillness of this moment, you might feel a connection to those who once walked this land, their hopes and dreams echoing softly across the millennia. And so, as the night enfolds the ancient world in its gentle embrace, the tales of these powerful deities linger in the air, a testament to the enduring power of myth and the human spirit's quest for understanding. Slowly, the scene fades, leaving you with a sense of wonder and a quiet reverence for the mysteries of the past. In the quiet embrace of the Nile's eternal flow, amidst the sands that whispered of time's unfathomable depths, life in ancient Egypt unfolded with a rhythm as steady and predictable as the river's gentle currents. The gods, those towering figures of myth and reverence, were not distant deities confined to grand temples and lofty heavens alone. Rather, they were woven into the very fabric of everyday existence. Their presence was felt in the soft rustle of palm leaves, in the steady hum of village life, and in the rituals that marked the passage of each sun-drenched day. As the first light of dawn stretched across the horizon, casting a golden glow upon the waking land, the people would rise to greet the morning with a sense of devotion that was both intimate and profound. Ra, the sun god, was honored as the harbinger of light and life, his journey across the sky a daily miracle that ensured the continuation of the world. In the early hours, as the cool air still clung to the earth, offerings of bread and beer might be placed before small altars, their simple presence a testament to the gratitude felt for Ra's steadfast vigil over the living. In those moments, one might imagine the faint aroma of freshly baked bread mingling with the morning air, as families gathered to share in the first meal of the day. The gods were never far from mind, their stories told and retold in the soft murmur of voices. Children would listen with wide eyes as elders recounted tales of Horus and Set, of Isis and Osiris, each narrative a thread in the rich tapestry of their shared cultural heritage. As the day progressed and the sun climbed higher, the activities of daily life unfolded in harmonious concert with the divine. Farmers tilled the fertile soil of the Nile's banks, their hands working in time with the celestial order overseen by Osiris, the god of agriculture and rebirth. His influence was seen in the cycle of the seasons, the rise and fall of the river's waters, promising renewal and sustenance to a land that thrived in the balance between desert and abundance. Meanwhile, in the bustling streets of cities like Thebes and Memphis, craftsmen and traders went about their tasks, each mindful of Ptah, the god of creation and craftsmanship. It was believed that Ptah had fashioned the world from thought and speech, and so, in their own acts of creation, the artisans of Egypt found a divine parallel. Perhaps you can hear the rhythmic tapping of chisels on stone, the soft swish of looms weaving vibrant fabrics, each sound a prayer in honor of Ptah's creative spirit. In the cool shadows of the temples, priests and priestesses conducted rituals with solemn grace, their movements a dance of devotion to the gods who watched over their realms. Incense curled in fragrant spirals through the air, it sent a bridge between the mortal and the divine. Within these sacred spaces, the mysteries of the universe were pondered, and the priests, as intermediaries, sought to maintain the harmony between the earthly and the celestial. As the sun began its descent, casting long, languid shadows across the land, thoughts turned to the goddess Nut, the celestial vault who embraced the sun each evening as it passed into the underworld. In the fading light, families gathered once more, their conversations interwoven with prayers for protection and guidance through the night. They sought the favor of Hathor, the goddess of love and joy, her benevolent presence a beacon of comfort and celebration. And so night descended gently upon the land, the sky a vast canvas of stars that shimmered like jewels scattered across a velvet cloak. In these quiet hours the gods were no less present. Anubis, the guide of souls, watched over the departed, his presence a reminder of the eternal journey that awaited all. Bastet, the gentle protector, cast her watchful gaze over hearth and home, her feline grace a symbol of the warmth and security that came with nightfall. Through the cycles of day and night, as life unfolded in its steady rhythm, the gods of ancient Egypt were not distant figures to be revered only in moments of ceremony. Rather, they were woven into the very essence of existence, their stories and symbols a constant reminder of the interconnectedness of all things. Slowly, as the stars wheeled overhead and the land lay quiet under the moon's soft glow, the people of Egypt, in their daily rhythms, found themselves in the embrace of their gods, who, like the enduring Nile, were ever present, a gentle, guiding force through the endless flow of time. In the land of the pharaohs, where the golden sands of the desert kissed the azure sky, there lay a realm of gods whose presence shaped the very fabric of existence for those who dwelt along the life-giving Nile. The mighty river, a serpentine ribbon of blue, wove its way through the arid landscape, breathing life into the land and nurturing the fields of emerald grain. Here, in this fertile cradle of civilization, the gods were not distant or abstract figures, but rather intimate companions in the daily life of the people. Their stories whispered through the rustle of reeds and the gentle lap of water against the banks. As you wander through this ancient land, you might imagine the cool breeze carrying with it the scent of lotus flowers, mingling with the rich aroma of incense burning at the altars dedicated to the divine. The air is filled with an ethereal quality, as if every breath draws you closer to understanding the mysteries that have captivated humankind for millennia. The sun, Ra's great eye, casts its warm glow over the landscape, painting the world in hues of gold and amber, and you feel the gentle warmth on your skin, as generations before have felt it. Amidst this environment, the gods of Egypt stood as powerful guardians and guides, each with their own domain and secrets. Their images adorned the walls of temples and tombs, their forms immortalized in stone and paint, bearing witness to the devotion of those who sought their favor. In those sacred spaces, the flickering light of torches danced upon the polished stone, casting shadows that seemed to bring the ancient stories to life. One might find themselves standing before the imposing figure of Amun, the Hidden One, whose influence was said to extend beyond the visible world. His presence was felt in the whispering winds and the unseen forces that governed the world. As you gaze upon his likeness, adorned with the majestic plumes of an ostrich, a symbol of creation and balance, you can almost hear the distant echoes of hymns sung in his honor, reverberating through the sanctuaries of Karnak and Luxor. Nearby, the goddess Hathor, she of the celestial cow horns and sun disk, embodies the nurturing aspects of femininity and love. Her temples, often filled with the soft sounds of music and the gentle jingle of sistrums, were places of celebration and joy. You might close your eyes and listen to the laughter and song that floated through the air, a testament to the reverence for the life-giving and protective nature she bestowed upon her followers. In the quiet hours of the evening, when the sky transitions into a canvas of deep indigo, the mysterious figure of Thoth, the ibis-headed god, becomes a symbol of wisdom and knowledge. The ancient scribes, seated by the light of oil lamps, would invoke his guidance as they etched the sacred hieroglyphs into papyrus and stone. The scratch of the reed pen against paper echoes through time, a serene reminder of the pursuit of understanding and the preservation of history. The landscape itself, ever shifting under the watchful gaze of the gods, tells stories of Osiris, the beloved lord of the afterlife. The rituals performed in his name were rich with symbolism, as priests in white linen tended to the sacred rites that promised eternal life. Perhaps you hear the soft chant of prayers, accompanied by the steady rhythm of drums, as the faithful seek his protection on their journey beyond the mortal realm. In the heart of the bustling city, the sun god Ra's influence is omnipresent, his solar bark sailing across the sky. The people, their lives entwined with the cycle of day and night, offer their devotions with the rising and setting of the sun. You can almost feel the reverence in the air as the first light touches the great pylons of the temple, a new day heralded with hope and gratitude. And so it is that in this world, the gods of ancient Egypt are not distant myths, but an intrinsic part of the landscape, woven into the very essence of life itself. Their presence is a constant reminder of the balance and harmony that sustains the world, a gentle force guiding humanity through the ages. As you walk these storied lands, you carry with you the echoes of a time when the divine walked among men, and the mysteries of the gods were as close as the beating of your heart. Slowly, as the sun dips below the horizon and the stars begin to twinkle in the vastness above, the world grows quieter, the hustle of daily life giving way to the tranquility of night. The ancient gods watch over the land, their secrets and stories a soothing lullaby to those who listen closely. In this timeless place, the past and present merge, caressed by the whispers of the desert wind and the gentle murmur of the Nile, an eternal testament to the enduring power and mystery of the gods. In the gentle embrace of the Nile's fertile banks, where the river's waters unfurled like a ribbon of life through the heart of the desert, the ancient Egyptians wove a tapestry of existence, as rich and varied as the stars that adorned their night skies. Here, beneath the gaze of deities whose power was whispered about, in the rustling reeds and the soft murmur of the wind, life unfolded in a rhythm as constant and nurturing as the annual inundation that brought new life to their fields. The gods were not distant figures. They were woven into the very fabric of daily life, guiding the hands of artisans, the prayers of priests, and the hopes of farmers. In the bustling marketplaces of Thebes and Memphis, you might imagine the air filled with the scent of spices and incense, as traders bartered beneath the watchful eyes of statues dedicated to Amun, the Hidden One, whose influence was felt in every corner of the land. Amun, often merging with Ra to become Amun-Ra, embodied the mysterious and all-encompassing nature of the divine, his presence a constant reassurance in times of uncertainty. It was said that he gave voice to oracles, and in the sacred precincts of his temples, priests and supplicants alike would seek his wisdom, hoping for guidance woven into the enigmatic folds of his silence. As you wander further into the heart of their society, you might pause alongside the grand processions dedicated to Hathor, the goddess of love and music, whose joyous festivals were a celebration of life itself. Her devotees would gather in sacred spaces, where the soft strains of lyres and the rhythmic beat of tambourines filled the air, inviting all to join in the dance of existence. She was the mistress of jubilation, a bridge between the earthly and the divine, and her festivals were not merely moments of revelry, but a reaffirmation of the bonds that tied the community together. Turning your thoughts to the quieter, more introspective moments of ancient Egyptian life, you might find yourself in the shadowed sanctuaries dedicated to Thoth, the ibis-headed god of wisdom and writing. In these hallowed halls, scribes dipped their reeds into ink, recording the deeds of pharaohs and the lore of the gods on papyrus scrolls. Thoth, revered as the scribe of the gods, was believed to have invented writing itself, and his influence can be seen in the meticulous records that chronicled the achievements and dreams of a civilization. He was the keeper of knowledge, the one who measured the passage of time and ensured the harmony of the universe through his divine wisdom. Amidst the clamor of everyday life, the children of ancient Egypt grew up with stories of Horus, the falcon-headed god whose eyes were the sun and the moon, a symbol of protection and kingship. To them, Horus was not just a distant figure from myth, but a guardian, always vigilant. His legend was one of triumph and justice, for he was the avenger of his father Osiris and the eternal foe of the chaos embodied by Seth. In the warmth of familial gatherings, tales of Horus's courage and his eternal watch over the pharaoh, the living Horus on earth, would inspire the young to pursue righteousness and strength. In those quiet hours as day turned to dusk, families might gather to offer silent prayers to Isis, the Great Mother, whose love and devotion were as boundless as the sky. Her story, filled with themes of loss, resurrection, and unwavering love, resonated deeply with the people. Isis, through her tireless search for Osiris and her nurturing of Horus, represented the eternal cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Her presence was felt in the gentle lullabies sung to children and in the soothing rituals that marked the passage from life to the afterlife. As the stars began to twinkle in the vast canopy above, thoughts might turn to the mysterious figure of Anubis, the jackal-headed guardian of the necropolis, whose solemn duty it was to guide souls into the afterlife. Anubis was a figure of both fear and comfort, his presence at the threshold between life and the beyond a reminder of the eternal journey that awaited all. The rituals performed in his name, with their precise chants and offerings, ensured safe passage for the departed, a testament to the profound respect the Egyptians held for the unseen world. And so, within the embrace of these divine figures, the people of ancient Egypt lived their lives, drawing strength and inspiration from the gods who were both creators and companions. Through festivals and rituals, in work and in rest, the divine was never far from their thoughts, a constant presence that infused their world with meaning and wonder. Slowly, as the sounds of the day faded into the soft whispers of the night, one could sense the enduring connection between the mortal and the divine, a bond as timeless as the stones of the pyramids that rose majestically against the desert sky. In the quiet chambers of ancient Egypt, where the air is perfumed with the scent of lotus blossoms drifting lazily upon the Nile breeze, one finds the whispered tales of gods whose power shaped the destinies of pharaohs and peasants alike. These stories, often shared under the flickering light of oil lamps, reveal the lives of gods not so distant from the human realm, even as they command the mighty forces of the cosmos. Amongst these divine figures there is Amun, whose name resonates like the deep hum of creation itself. Though known to many as the Hidden One, Amun's influence pervades the very fabric of the universe. As you wander the vast temple complexes dedicated to him, the cool stone beneath your feet whispers of his once humble origins as a local deity in Thebes. In time, Amun would grow to become part of a trinity with the sun god Ra, merging into Amun-Ra, a symbol of creation and hidden power. The priests of Amun, clad in linen robes, moved silently in their rituals, seeking the god's favor through chants carried by the wind across the sacred waters. Beneath the azure sky, where the desert sands meet the fertile banks of the Nile, the goddess Hathor is revered with gentle devotion. Known as the Lady of Turquoise, Hathor embodies love, music, and motherhood, her presence as soothing as the soft melodies of a harp. Within her temples, the rhythmic beating of tambourines and the dulcet tones of sistrums fill the air, inviting all who hear them to dance in celebration. It is said that Hathor's laughter could dispel the gloom of the darkest day, her beauty rivaling the most spectacular sunsets over the river's horizon. As you meander through the alleys of the sacred city of Heliopolis, the presence of the god Atum can be felt in the very stones of the ancient structures. Atum, whose form is both that of a serpent and a man, represents the completeness of all things. In the beginning, it was said that he arose from the primordial waters of Nun, creating the world through sheer will. The mythic narrative of Atum speaks softly of renewal and the cyclical nature of life, echoed in the gentle ebb and flow of the river's tide. In the shadowed halls of eternity, Osiris sits as the eternal judge of the dead, his green visage a symbol of rebirth and regeneration. The quiet rituals of mummification were performed in his honor, ensuring safe passage to the afterlife. The hum of prayers and the fragrant smoke of incense rise like offerings to the heavens, guiding souls to Osiris's kingdom. Here the heart is weighed against the feather of Ma'at, and under Osiris' watchful eye, justice prevails in the silence of the tomb. In those serene moments as evening descends upon the land, the goddess Isis, wife of Osiris and mother to Horus, stands as an icon of maternal devotion and magical prowess. Her myths tell of her tireless search for Osiris, of her tears that flooded the Nile, bringing life to its banks. As you might settle by the river's edge, the tale of Isis is carried by the gentle current, a testament to love's enduring power over time and distance. Horus, the falcon-headed god of the sky, whose eye reflects the sun and moon, watches over Egypt with a gaze as steady as the stars. His battles against Set, the chaos god, are spoken of in hushed tones, stories of determination and triumph that echo in the quiet chambers where his image is carved. Horus's flight across the sky is a reminder of the balance maintained between order and disorder, a delicate dance respected by all who walk the earth. And in the twilight hours when the sun dips below the horizon, the presence of Thoth, the ibis-headed god of wisdom and writing, can be felt in the cool evening air. Thoth, keeper of knowledge and scribe of the gods, is the one who measures time and records the deeds of both divine and mortal realms. His wisdom is like the gentle rustle of papyrus leaves in the breeze, a whisper of intellect and insight that guides the hands of scribes in their meticulous work. As the Nile flows inexorably toward the sea, so too does the pantheon of Egyptian gods and goddesses remind us of the enduring power of myth and tradition. Their stories, though often hidden like the sands beneath the desert's surface, continue to offer glimpses into the ancient world, where the divine and the mortal intertwined in a dance as old as time itself. In these quiet moments, as you ponder the tales of these lesser-known yet immensely powerful deities, you may feel the subtle pull of history, drawing you into a world where the sacred and the everyday are inextricably entwined. And so, beneath the starlit canopy of the Egyptian night, where the air is cool and the land rests in tranquil stillness, the stories of these gods linger, carried softly by the whispering winds that have swept across the land for millennia. In the gentle embrace of such timeless tales, one might find a quiet connection to the ancient past, a reminder of the enduring legacy left by those who once worshipped these mighty beings. As the Nile River meandered through the vast expanses of the ancient land, the lives of the people who dwelt beside its fertile banks were intricately woven with the divine tapestry of their gods. These deities, though powerful and revered, held stories and attributes that were sometimes hidden away, like treasures buried beneath the shifting sands. In the quietude of an Egyptian evening, when the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of deep orange and violet, these lesser-known threads of divine narrative came alive in the whispered tales shared among the people. Among these tales was the story of Ptah, the god of creation, who was not only a master craftsman of the heavens, but also a patron of artisans and builders in the earthly realm. It was said that Ptah fashioned the world through the sheer force of his thoughts, a skillful architect conjuring the cosmos into being with the precision of a sculptor's chisel on stone. Yet in the daily lives of the Egyptians, Ptah's presence was felt in the soft glow of lamps illuminating workshops, where craftsmen and builders found inspiration in his divine ingenuity, their hands guided by his unseen touch as they shaped clay and carved granite. And then there was Hathor, the goddess of love and joy, whose laughter was said to ripple through the air like the sweet notes of a lyre. Known to many as the nurturing mother and the celestial cow, Hathor's lesser-known aspect was that of a guardian of the desert, where travelers found solace under her watchful gaze. Her presence was felt in the gentle rustle of palm fronds and the distant murmur of an oasis, offering refuge to weary souls journeying across the sun-baked sands. Her protection was like an unseen veil, a cooling breeze that whispered of her benevolence. In the shadowed corners of temples, where incense curled in the air like ancient secrets, the story of Nephthys unfolded, a goddess often overshadowed by her more illustrious sister, Isis. Nephthys, the quiet guardian of the dead, was revered for her role as a protector of the afterlife. Yet, her lesser-known virtue lay in the comfort she brought to those in mourning, her presence a gentle reminder of the cyclical nature of life and death. As the stars began to twinkle in the vast Egyptian night, Nephthys was there, a silent companion to the grieving, her essence felt in the soft rustle of reeds by the river's edge. And Ra, the sun god, whose daily journey across the sky symbolized the eternal struggle against chaos, was not only the radiant ruler of the heavens, but also a wise traveler of the underworld. In the stillness of the night, when the world was draped in darkness, Ra's lesser-known journey unfolded in the sacred texts, a voyage through the 12 hours of the night, where he battled the forces that sought to unmake creation. It was a quiet, determined passage, where Ra's light shone not in brilliance, but in steadfast resolve, a beacon guiding souls safely to the dawn. As these stories were shared in the flickering light of hearths, the people of ancient Egypt found themselves entwined in the rich tapestry of their gods, each thread a whisper of divine presence in their lives. The gods, though mighty and eternal, were also reflections of the human experience, creators, nurturers, guardians, and travelers. And so as the night deepened and the world hushed into a gentle slumber, the echoes of these lesser-known truths lingered in the air. The gods continued their watch over the land, their mysteries woven into the fabric of existence itself, like the rhythmic lapping of the Nile against its ancient banks. In those quiet hours, beneath the vast canopy of the starlit sky, the people felt the enduring bond with their deities, a connection as timeless as the sands of Egypt.